What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of the Wrestling Matters podcast. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode with Kenny Killer, because I know I did. Thank you, Kenny. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for coming on the show. It was a blast to record that show with you. And in case you've forgotten, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you anyway. Yes, it's me. It's that H-E-A-D. That's right, the head. Better known to you as Anthony Walker, the host of the show. Now, we're going to go back to normal this week. We're going to go back to normal. We're going to go and do Raw main points, Smackdown main points, TNA main points, and we're going to talk about anything else that's relevant in the world of wrestling and give you my views and opinions and thoughts and whatnot on the world of wrestling itself, because that's what I do on this show. However, I want to kick off the show by saying a big thank you and a fond farewell to Mr. Santino Marella, because this past weekend in Toronto at a live show, it was announced on the internet that he announced his retirement due to a neck injury. So yeah, another one suffers a early retirement, so to speak, at the hands of neck injuries. He joins the I guess you could say he joins the Edge fan club, so to speak, of neck injuries. Santino, I didn't get your gimmick, your little comedy thing, and basically, in my opinion, you were funny at times, but in my opinion, you ended up getting played out for me. But thank you for what you've done for the WWE and what you contributed to it and what you contribute to the world of wrestling itself. And all the best for the future and speedy recoveries and that. And hope everything works out for you in the future, my friend. So until then, happy retirement. And yeah, that was a bit of a shock as well to see him go like that, guys. But it is what it is. And now we'll move on to the main talking points of Monday Night Raw. And Monday Night Raw kicked off this week with Roman Reigns coming out to address his situation and the situation of Battleground Fatal 4-Way. However, while he was talking, he interrupted by Kane and a brawl ensued. Being a wanted man seems to suit Roman Reigns. Having a target on his back has put a spring on the big dog's step. He all but went into the Great White North and dared the Authority to take their best shot at him in Raw's opening moments. Goes so far as to dismiss the corporate powers in rants into the World Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match at Battleground, and when one of those participants, Kane, took issue with the former tag team champion, Reigns put his assets and attack strategy into good use, fighting back the devil's favorite demon and the horror of referees and officials that came out to stop the fight, spearing Fit Finlay flat on the mat before Superman punching Kane off the apron. Now that's what we call a close encounter. Now let me just get back to this, okay, guys? For those of you that didn't see Raw, go back and watch that moment, and you can't tell me that Fit Finlay didn't deserve that spear, okay? Because he did. And if you go back, and if you want to know the reason why, go back and watch that brawl, and when they separated, you could clearly see Fit Finlay, with a little help from James Gibson as well, Jamie Noble, pushing him back into the corner, right? But as he's in the corner, for some strange reason, he pushes him. Fit Finlay clearly pushes him. You could clearly, like if he was pushing somebody, like if he was coming up, like say if I was going up to somebody and pushing him like that, I said, come on then. He clearly pushes him, and if that didn't piss Roman Reigns off, which he clearly did, I didn't know what will. And it seemed to have pissed him off, because he pushes Jamie Noble out the way, James Gibson, flats on his ass, and gets speared. So I defy anyone to tell me that Fit Finlay did not deserve that spear, because he did, and it did clearly was there. You don't put your hands on Roman Reigns like that. He tried to break it up, but Finlay was looking like he was trying to make it personal, and paid for it. But it was a hell of a way to kick off Raw, with a brawl with the two guys in the Fatal 4-Way match at Battleground. Now, I suppose I'll mention this as well. The Wyatt family defeating the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Usos, again. One man's misfortune is another man's boon. In the case of the Wyatt family's latest clash with the Usos, it was a good old-fashioned case of mistaken identity that gave Luke Harper and Eric Rowan their latest leg up in their war of attrition, so to speak, with the Tag Team Champions. At first, the match was more or less even when the Wyatts muscling their way to the advantage over the title holders. The Usos held on, however, to reclaim their lead after Jey Uso tagged in his brother, who ran wild over Luke Harper and nearly had the big man down with a reverse corkscrew plunger off the top rope. Eric Rowan saved the count, and as it turned out, the match when he tripped up both Usos while they prepared for a double dive to the outside. Jey sprang up and was quickly fielded with a brutal clothesline, only to the unknowns of the referee, Jimmy was the true legal man. So basically, the Harper boys got a win over the Usos. Harper and Rowan got a win over the Usos, but apparently I think it was Harper who pinned the wrong guy. Now, I hate to see this because, not like I say, I've said it again, I've said it once, I'll say it again, the Usos deserve to be tag team champions, no doubt. But it seems that the Wyatt family are being built up only to get knocked down. I hope that's not the case. I mean, if they're going to put the belts on these guys, then put the belts on them and have them be tag team champions. But it's just come to them situations. They're going to build them up, and then knock them back down when they face them at the pay-per-view for the belts, or face them on Raw for the belts, and then some other tag team is going to get involved and become, the champions, so to speak. And it's not going to look good for the Wyatt family in that respect. Well, at least from my perspective, anyway. Do I want to see the Wyatt family as tag team champions? Yes. Question is, will it happen? Just have to wait and see. Now, as you clearly heard last week's episode with Kenny, you would hear me talk about Rusev, and finally he got some competition at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Well, that seemed to have continued the following night on Raw, because Rusev ended up going one-on-one with the whole fucking show. Yes, the whole fucking show, not the whole damn show. Michael Cole, you retard. And not just Michael Cole as well. Look at WWE.com. I swear to God, if I hear the whole damn show one more time, I'm seriously going to throw up. It's the whole fucking show, or the whole effing show. I know you guys are PG, but Jesus Christ. Rusev is not impressed by the high flyers. This much the WWE Universe found out after the Bulgarian brute swatted the aerial expert himself and the hardcore legend Rob Van Dam in the latest installment of the Super Athletes' undefeated streak. Van Dam appeared to crack the code by defeating Rusev, preparing the big man with kicks and pulling him with a tornado DDT. But the hot streak ended there as Rusev unleashed his power maneuvers to counter Mr. Monday Night, finally locking in the camel clutch submission hold that he uses from the finisher to put Rob Van Dam to sleep. What might give Rusev pause, however, is Jack Swagger, who formally challenged the Fist of Russian to a showdown at Battleground, courtesy of Seb Coulter. With any luck, the Bulgarian brute will accept We the People demands nothing less. So I'm guessing it's going to be Jack Swagger versus Rusev at the Battleground pay-per-view. Now, like I said last week, like Kenny said as well last week, this could be good for both of them. Definitely could be good for Rusev facing a former world champion like Jack Swagger in that respect as well. What will happen? I guess we'll have to wait till July 20th at Battleground. But it seems that Rusev's character and his push is going a different direction, especially after what happened at Money in the Bank with the Big E fight, because it seems to me that he's getting elevated now and not kept down in that same position as far as being pushed, which is great for him because he needed it. Like Kenny said, and I said last week as well, just keep him away from John Cena, because let's face it, if he gets into John Cena, he will lose. Randy Orton went one-on-one with Dean Ambrose in a match that was continued from last week's SmackDown. Once upon a time, Randy Orton would consider to be WWE's most dominant maniac, and he was, as the Viper. And any rumours of the Apex Predator softening up were put firmly to rest on Raw when Orton knocked off Mr. Dean Ambrose. That said, the Lunatic Fringe did not go quietly though. Into the night, however, against the former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, pounding the self-proclaimed face of the WWE with punches and kicks in a street-style mugging. Orton got down and dirty to even the bout, hurling Ambrose into the steps to aggravate his beat-up shoulder after following up with armbar to keep the former United States Heavyweight Champion grounded on the mat. Ambrose replied with a figure 4 leg lock to reclaim the advantage, though he overplayed his hand by hurling a steel chair every steel chair he could find into the ring, giving the Viper time to target the Lunatic Fringe shoulder for a second time. A hanging DDT off the barricade nearly notched Orton a count-out win, but a well-timed RKO finally put Ambrose to sleep and gave Orton the win for the 1-2-3. Now, this was a beautiful RKO, not as good as the one he did at Money in the Bank, that swing-up one he did at Money in the Bank, which I think was on Cesaro, if I remember correctly. This one here, I mean, you've seen Dean Ambrose where he bounces off the ropes. He goes to bounce off the ropes. He does it like if he would look back on when he does that clothesline, when he goes onto the ropes, bounces back in, and then clotheslines and does that clothesline. It's kind of what Nigel McGuinness does, what did in Ring of Honor before. If you look back on Nigel McGuinness tapes in Ring of Honor, you'll see him do that same move. Well, Ambrose tried to do it, but as he did it, he walked right into an RKO, which ended the match. Nothing but big things. I mean, I talked about that last week with Kenny. Nothing but big things with Dean Ambrose. I love the guy. He is a fucking psycho. And long may that continue, because he's very, very entertaining to watch. Alberto Del Rio defeated Dolph Ziggler to become the #1 contender for the United States Championship. Now, this would be for the following day against Sheamus in the main event show. That Dolph Ziggler suffered a loss to his self-admitted favourite opponent, Alberto Del Rio, was probably a small consolation as a loss A, which by outside factors a B. Cost Ziggler a chance to challenge for championship gold. The outside factor questioned Fandango, who perhaps smarting over Dolph's makeout session with Summer Rae last week, distracted the former world heavyweight champion right as Dolph hit his famous to stun Del Rio by grinding atop the announce table, allowing Alberto Del Rio to super kick Ziggler into defeat. The gold in question, a United States Championship opportunity against Sheamus on the main event show the following night, which he lost, by the way. Last week witnessed the return of Chris Jericho and The Miz. Well, the Fab twosome went one-on-one this past week on Raw. Somebody called Little Johnny Russo and console him. The Moneymaker has been compromised throughout much anticipated clash between Miz and Chris Jericho. The Ayatollah of Rock and Roller had made it a point to target Miz mug, preparing it with punches and slamming it into the mat with a bulldog. Even though Miz rebounded to lock in the figure 4 leg lock, Jericho threw the awesome one off his game with one final shot to the Moneymaker and the walls of Jericho for a tap out win. As Y2J celebrated, it didn't last long, though Bray Wyatt appeared on the ramp to call out basically the 9-time Intercontinental Champion and asking him what's he going to come back and say it was for this time and all that. Jericho made a move to make the Eater of Words eat his words, so to speak, but the appearance of Harper and Warren put a stop to that. Jericho at least, is in that situation now where he's coming back to put people over. I don't know what good it will do to Bray Wyatt to put him over or give him a pay-per-view win or anything like that, or job to him or anything, because let's face it, Bray Wyatt's over, isn't he? He's already over. What will this benefit? An upcoming match, Jericho against Bray Wyatt, what would it benefit? I don't know, but like I say, if he's doing it to put Bray Wyatt over, quite frankly, be wasting his time, because let's face it, Bray Wyatt's already over. Heel, babyface, it don't matter, because the people like Bray Wyatt anyway. I don't know what this will benefit for Bray, if this is the case, but, you know, time will tell. We'll have to wait and see on that. But it'll be an interesting match to see. Very interesting match to see. Now, I'm not going to say anything about this next match, but you just have to, no, I'm not going to say anything about this next match, but I will say this. They got this one right this time round, because in the Kofi Kingston Cesaro match, Kofi beat Cesaro again. So that's 2 weeks in a row he's got an advantage on. Except this time round, it didn't end on the fucking app like it did the first time round, which was bullshit. So Kevin Dunn, if you're listening, or if you're hearing this or whatever, you bucky. I mean, no wonder Jim Cornette fucking used to rant on you, pal. I mean, I don't know whose idea it was to have that match, but it doesn't benefit Kofi Kingston. Maybe benefits Cesaro, because you came back onto the show as he put a beat down on Kofi, and he did it again after the match, but that didn't benefit Kofi, that win. This one did, because people actually saw it. The first time he won on the app, nobody saw it except for the people in the ring or the people watching on the app. And how the hell are we supposed to fucking know that the match was going to end on the app? Yeah, we have the app and we download the app and everything and we watch it and that, but who's going to watch a fucking app just for about 10 minutes or 5 minutes or even 3-minute match on the app while it's on a commercial break? I don't. It's just some bullshit, man. I mean, it really is, but they got it right this time round, and Kofi beat Cesaro again, only to receive a beatdown. My question is to this, is when will Brock Lesnar come back? And it seems to me there's a bit of feud going on with Cesaro and Big E, because Big E came out to save Kofi from a beatdown, from a badder beatdown that he got the first time round. So maybe it's a Cesaro and Big E Langston match coming up at Battleground, which will be interesting. But like I said, my question is when's Brock Lesnar coming back? Because from what it seems, he's going to be facing John Cena at SummerSlam. So will it be after Battleground? More than likely, but hopefully he'll come back before. I'm not even going to talk about Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas can go fuck himself, because I'll tell you something right now, I'm done with him. He is... I don't know what to make of him, to be honest with you. It's just mind-boggling how horrible he is. He really is. Anyway, I'll move away from that and talk about the main event. Seth Rollins, the Money in the Bank winner, going one-on-one with the World Heavyweight Champion John Cena. Seth Rollins isn't all talk after all. Set to battle John Cena in the main event of Raw, the Earls took the fight to the champion in a big way, breaking out the most dynamic moves from his deep catalogue. Hello spin kick to the chin, hello spinning chin lock, and a very nearly spinning doom with a leaping enziguri to Cena on the top rope. The champions rallied to connect with his 5-knuckle shuffle, and even though Rollins escaped the attitude adjustment, Cena locked the STF to strand his opponent in the middle of the ring, and then all hell broke loose. First, Kane made his entrance to distract Cena, then Randy Orton came up from behind to help the Demon batter the champ. Roman Reigns arrived to fend off the Authority, and Rollins attempted to cash in Money in the Bank, which was foiled by his arch nemesis and former teammate in the Shield, the lunatic fringe himself, Mr. Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose living up to his promise. The night ended when Reigns making the last minute save of Cena when Orton went for a final strike and a mutual show of respect between the two superstars. It may be the last time that happens though. Once Battleground begins, all bets are off, and there's only one thing that counts: the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's the end of Raw. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go on to TNA's main points. That's right, Impact Wrestling this past week, and it's kicked off with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle enters the Impact Zone to begin the show. He declares tonight to be the championship showcase. Angle says 3 championships will be decided and that a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal will take place to determine the number 1 contender for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt. Angle requests the presence, however, of the unpredictable Willow. Willow's laugh crackles throughout the arena as the world around him is painted shades of black and white. Angle says Willow was born from a dark place that required violence. He assures Willow that in the absence of Dixie Carter and MVP, TNA isn't that dark place anymore. He asks Willow to leave for tonight and for charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy to enter tonight's Battle Royal. Basically, he wants the man Jeff Hardy to come back because he's basically saying that he can trust him. Jeff Hardy can trust Kurt Angle, and Dixie Carter and MVP are no longer in power. He obviously doesn't want Willow to leave. He just wants Jeff Hardy back. Either way, I don't care because I actually like Willow. I mean, to me, Willow was amazing, and Willow also proved that what I've been saying all these years about Jeff Hardy is true. Jeff Hardy is a crazy son of a bitch. Right. Bobby Roode blames MVP for missed time opportunities. MVP enters the arena in a wheelchair and says, if anything, his prolonged Bobby Roode's career. MVP claims Roode furthered his knee injury. Roode jumps from the ring and rushes to attack MVP. Kenny King rushes from behind, but Roode dodges the attack and then dubs MVP from the wheelchair. King recovers and he and MVP gain the upper hand on Roode. Eric Young runs down the ramp to make the save. Bobby Lashley counters EY and leaves him reeling outside the ring as Bobby Roode gets back on his feet. Roode and EY retreat. This is not over. It seems that Bobby Roode wants a piece. The Jim Jones of professional wrestling, MVP. Will he get it? Because we'll have to wait and see. Christy Hemme introduces the next title match as Austin Aries enters the Impact Zone to challenge his opponent from Tokyo, Sanada. Now, earlier on in the evening, the Tag Team Championships were on the line with the Wolves retaining over Magnus and Bram. This was the second match of the night for the championship. Aries and Sanada square off. The two are evenly matched until Sanada sends Aries flying over the top rope with a clothesline. Having Sanada well scouted, Aries counters a springboard assault from Sanada, sending the champion crashing onto the floor. Sanada begins fighting back with a standing Hurricane Rana. Sanada pushes Aries from the ring and executes a diving somersault. Back in the ring, Aries blocks the Dragon Suplex and attacks Sanada in the corner with a series of punches and chops. Sanada counters Aries' running attack, then Aries counters Sanada's moonsault attempt. Having Sanada set up for a powerbomb, challenger decides to drop the champion face first into the corner before hitting the running dropkick, the trademark. Sanada reverses Aries brainbuster and nails the tiger suplex. Sanada connects with a moonsault. Aries kicks out at 2. Sanada attempts another moonsault, but Aries rolls out of the way and lifts Sanada to execute a brainbuster. Sanada kicks out. Aries clamps to the top rope and crashes down with a 450 splash to become the new X Division champion. And you know what this means, don't you? That's right. With Destination X right around the corner, the TV show, the big show that they've got coming up around the corner. I believe it's in August or July. I'm pretty sure it's in August. But with the big show they've got coming up around the corner, Destination X, Austin Aries, TNA's X Division champion, that only means one thing: Option C. And you know what that means. He invented Option C. In from the break, a video recap shows Rhino's attack on Bully Ray last week. Moments ago, Bully Ray says he's calling out Rhino. EC3 says Rhino would reveal the man Bully Ray truly is. Bully Ray comes into the arena. Bully says when he began wrestling, he was told he'd be able to count the friends he'd made on one hand. He thought one of those friends was Rhino. Rhino responds to Bully with EC3 and Rockstar Spud in tow. Bully asks why. Rhino says he realized Bully Ray was a con man after he saw the TNA Hall of Fame induction announcement. Bully says Rhino sold out to the Carters and that Rhino is jealous. Bully yells, "You're the reason why you got fired from WWE. You're the reason why you got fired from TNA. It's not my fault that at one time you were hardcore, but now you're nothing but a bitch." EC3 says he paid and will continue to pay Rhino to take out Bully Ray. Bully goes on the attack EC3 and is gored by Rhino for his efforts. EC3 and Rhino and Spud team up on Bully Ray until one of Bully Ray's old mates, Tommy Dreamer, rushes in the ring with a Singapore cane. The crowd chants ECW as Dreamer makes the save. I have no idea where this is going between these, but I guess we'll have to find out this week on Impact. Apparently Rhino has something to say to Bully Ray. And what he has next for Bully Ray, guess we'll have to wait and see. And now for the main event of the evening. Christy Hemme announces Eric Young as the first competitor, followed by Ethan Carter III, Rockstar Spud, and Bobby Roode. Enter before the commercial break. When Impact returns, the ring is full of wrestlers, and Bully Ray makes his way to the ring, followed by Jeff Hardy. Angle got what he wanted, and the fans got what they wanted too. The battle royal begins immediately as Hardy steps into the ring. Crazy Steve is eliminated by Jesse. Jesse is eliminated by The Freak and Knox eliminated by DJZ. Bram and Magnus eliminated by The Freak and Knox. Bram eliminates King Mo. Sanada is eliminated by Magnus. Sanada is eliminated. Magnus is eliminated. James Storm eliminates Mr. Anderson, then Gunner, and Jeff Hardy eliminates Bram. Rockstar Spud saves EC3 from the elimination. A furious Bram violently stalks the outside, but the Monster Abyss rushes out and fights Bram all the way backstage. MVP saves Kenny King from being eliminated. King eliminates Manic. Bobby Roode eliminates James Storm. Kenny King chokes Bobby Roode on the bottom rope as Spud attacks Bully Ray. Bully Ray counters with a crotch claw that leaves Spud reeling. EC3 and Spud attack Bully Ray, who counters and drops Spud from the ring. EC3 and Bully Ray eliminate one another. Kenny King struts around the ring before attacking Eric Young and Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode powers King down to the mat with a hot spot buster as Roode is about to eliminate King. MVP hits Roode with a crotch. Roode is eliminated by King, who is then eliminated by Eric Young. Jeff Hardy and Eric Young are the final two competitors, and EY shakes hands before locking up. Eric Young almost eliminated Jeff Hardy when an over-the-top rope toss. Jeff Hardy drop kicks EY off the apron to become the number one contender for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Jeff Hardy is back. Question is, will he overcome Bobby Lashley next week for the World Heavyweight Championship? TNA starting to get interesting again. Question is, will it last? The SmackDown main points. Kicking off SmackDown this week was Rusev and Lana. Wasted little time throwing praise upon Russian leader Vladimir Putin at the expense of America, Canada, and the Bulgarian Brute Friday night opponent, Roman Reigns. But the emergence of the powerful former member of the Shield changed that in a hurry, creating an intense cold war of intensity between them. However, just when it looked as if their match might begin sooner than scheduled, the ravishing Russian stopped her superstar from battling on Reigns' terms. Instead, it seemed they would need to wait for the SmackDown main event. What a matchup that would. I mean, them two could have a big feud as well, Roman Reigns and Rusev. But it would have to be done right. I mean, Rusev, like I say, he's already proved himself on SmackDown. He's already proved himself in the WWE. That belongs in the top two. You know, the question is, how long will it last? Or will it last? Or will there be like roadblocks thrown in? I hope not. But this is WWE we're talking about. But things are looking up for Rusev, as far as I'm concerned. Hope it continues. Anytime Chris Jericho battles long-standing rival Randy Orton on SmackDown, it is going to be a fierce showdown. But in the case of their match on this week's SmackDown, it wouldn't happen without controversy. For at the height of the contest, the creepy tone of the Wyatt family suddenly rang through the arena, distracting Y2J long enough for the Viper to strike with an RKO for the victory. Now, like I say, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously Jericho surely is going to put Bray Wyatt over. That's what he's come back to do, to put him over, or if this match does take place, which is where it seems. But like I said many times, I don't know if that would benefit Bray that much. Yeah, it would benefit him, to his credibility, that, oh yeah, he beat, you know, Bray Wyatt beat the former first ever undisputed champion, you know. But, you know, does he really need someone like Jericho to come back and lose to him and that, to put him over? Because let's face it, he's already over. He's already in the like a main event spot. You know, he doesn't really need to do that. I mean, that's just my take on it. But you know, many people probably disagree, but you never know. It may very well happen that the impossible might happen, and Jericho might beat Bray Wyatt. I don't know, but I can say I can't figure that match out of what it will benefit. We'll just have to wait and see. Just when it looked like Roman Reigns was setting up to hit the spear on the mighty Rusev in SmackDown's main event showdown, Randy Orton appeared from nowhere and leveled the black-clad superstar. While the Viper's actions forced the referee to call for the bell, it also opened the door for the hero of the Russian Federation to attack his opponent from behind. Then, as the smoke was still clear, Orton slithered into the ring and hit the completely torn Reigns with an RKO. Obviously, it's not going to happen at Battleground with this fatal four-way, but I think it's a possibility that this match will happen at SummerSlam between the two, Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. Either way, it's going to be epic. Either way, it's going to be big, and either way, it's going to be the first of two big feuds, from what I've read, from Roman Reigns. The other one being Triple H. How will it pan out? We'll have to wait and see, but let's face it, Roman Reigns is getting the push. And people are making him out to be, in the wrestling world and even WWE are making him out to be the replacement for Daniel Bryan. I don't know if I necessarily would agree with that, but Roman does deserve a spot in where he is now, because he is a hound himself. He's a walking hound. Interesting to see where that goes, though. I mean, watching Roman Reigns is very interesting itself. Interesting to see what direction it goes and whether it will stay there. I believe it will, but big things are happening for Roman Reigns, and deservedly so. Right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick break and run a few ads, and then we'll be back after the ads for my opinions on certain topics. So stay tuned, and I'll see you after this. Do you want to be an EPW wrestler? Do you want to be a wrestler in general? Are you living in the Middlesbrough area, or can you get to the Middlesbrough area? Then this is for you. EPW Wrestling. You want to be a part of it? Thought so. Go to epwwrestling.co.uk, www.facebook.com/EPW American Wrestling, and hit the like button. For further details though, go to EPW's website and contact. Contact details are on there if you want to be a part of it. EPW, where wrestling matters. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Anthony Walker, the host of the Wrestling Matters podcast, and you can now check out the Wrestling Matters podcast on youtube.com/HAW Wrestling Matters. You can now go to podomatic.com, iTunes, and now also you can go to a new one. That's right, a new site, Stitcher Radio. That's right, we're on Stitcher Radio right now. I'm on Stitcher Radio right now, and you could be too. Get yourself on there, download their app, the Stitcher Radio app, or the Stitcher app, whatever it is. Make sure you download their app, and you can listen to it on your phone, anywhere you want, at any time you want, at any place you. That's the Wrestling Matters podcast now on YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and Stitcher Radio. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! Get some love! Ooh, yeah!
With Kenny Killer.
Hey, yo! We're in the big D tonight, baby, and we are live! Woo!
I'm the Goddamn Sugar Shook.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold said so!
Download the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast now at iTunes. Right, guys, welcome back. Highway! Sorry, shout out to Kenny on that one. Now, I want to talk, first of all, I talked about Santino earlier on. I also read this week as well, guys, that Kevin Dunn, oh, joyful, joyful Kevin Dunn, the producer and whatever the heck he is in WWE, said that this week, the reason, apparently because there's been talk backstage that Adam Rose is not on Raw, wasn't on Raw these past couple of weeks and that because he was on Smackdown and NXT and that. And apparently it's also been said that Kevin Dunn doesn't like the character. Okay, first of all, this guy ruins a match between this guy or whoever is controlling the shit back there where he works and everything ruins a fucking match between Cesaro and Kofi Kingston by having Kofi win the match on the fucking WWE app. And now he's going on internet and that saying that he doesn't like the fucking Adam Rose character. Well, no offense, but wrestling fans and Jim Cornette and whoever the fuck else don't like you. And it wouldn't surprise me if Triple H doesn't like you, Kevin. I mean, I'm not going to go into a rant on you or anything, but if you want to know what it's like to be around Kevin Dunn or what it's like to hate Kevin Dunn, look up Jim Cornette. Type in on YouTube, Jim Cornette shoots on Kevin Dunn. It will sum it all up. Because it seems that Mr. Kevin Dunn was not a nice person. And since when did he ever say of what he likes and doesn't like? He's entitled to his opinion, but just because if this is the case that Adam Rose is not on Raw, just because he doesn't like Adam Rose's character, you know, Triple H pulls him from Raw and everything. Oh yeah, let's all do what Kevin Dunn says. Fuck Kevin Dunn. All he is just a producer and he should stick to that, okay? At the end of the day, it's Triple H, Vince McMahon and Stephanie running the show. Apparently, Kevin Dunn's got a job there for life because he saved some video things, I don't know, some video filings, I don't know. Like I said, type in Jim Cornette shoots on the YouTube page and you'll get the gist of that. I don't know, he saved something that got him a job there for life. But, Jesus Christ, who fucking cares what Kevin Dunn thinks? I know I fucking don't. Fuck me. Also, as well, EPW, for more information on EPW, by the way, go to EPW American Wrestling on Facebook, facebook.com/EPW American Wrestling. Go to the YouTube page, EPW Wrestling 1, and go to the website, epwwrestling.co.uk. They've got big shows coming up. They've got one July 25th in Billingham, which I'll be there. 29th and 30th of August in Croydon and Newton Aycliffe respectively. Unfortunately, I won't be there. Although the next day, on the 31st of August, I might be there in Hartlepool yet. I haven't decided, but they're going to Hartlepool on the 31st, so if you can get down there. But the one I'm very much looking forward to is Colby Newham, September 20th. I've already got the plans worked out for what's going to happen involving me. I am going to be there, come what may, whatever happens, good or bad. I will say this, I'm not going to be there and then jump straight into a Battle Royal like I did April 19th. If I'm not going to do anything on the show, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. I will do podcast work. But we'll just have to wait and see what the couple of weeks and couple of months or a month brings. But no matter what, come what may, I will be at Colby Newham. Will I be at Redcar? It's a possibility. It's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility. I might come to Redcar. We just have to wait and see. Like I say, time will tell. And also as well, if you're in the Berwick Hills area, if you're in Middlesbrough, if you're in the Berwick Hills area as well, keep your eyes peeled. Like I say, go to the following websites, like I said: EPW Wrestling 1, Facebook.com/EPW American Wrestling, and EPWWrestling.co.uk. Okay, make sure you go there for information as well, because on December 13th, EPW European Pro Wrestling, yes, I know what it meant. I know what it means. Finally, it's been revealed of what it means. The EPW means. It's European Pro Wrestling. They will be coming to the Southland Centre December 13th as well, which is something to look forward to. So that's all I've got to say about that. If you want more information, get your tickets at the box office, or if you want, just get your tickets, try and do what you can as well. But make sure you get to them events and support EPW as well, because big things are happening in EPW. Knock on wood. Also, if you're interested, if you can get to the Middlesbrough area, or you live in the Middlesbrough area, why not train with EPW? You want to be on the shows? Do you want to take part in matches? You want to take part on the shows and everything? I'll tell you what. Why don't you go to Waylands Way, Longlands in Middlesbrough? Douglas Car Sales, just off the roundabout as you're going into Longlands, okay? It's in the little car park area. There's where a car wash there. You can't miss it. You have to be Stevie Wonder to not be able to see it. As you're driving past, whichever way you're coming in, you'll be able to see it. And why not get there and train? Because you're more than welcome to go there and train. It's on the Mondays and Thursdays, 7 till 9, both days. I believe it's £5 for the kids. For adults, it's £10. You learn the basics. You train in the wrestling ring. There's experienced people there, including the boss. There's people there as well. There's other people there as well to help you. You get trained. You learn the basics, and just have fun too. You work with a group of people. I know because I've worked with them. I've trained with them as well. They're a group of people. They're willing to learn, which is what it should have been like from day one, but I won't go into that. Just go there, learn the basics. You never know. You could be wearing a belt. You could be the EPW British Champion. You could be the EPW World Heavyweight Champion. Hell, now you could be the EPW World Tag Team Champion as well. Now they've got a tag team division. And if you're a female as well, females are welcome too. Trust me. There's one female there. She goes by the name of Jodie Brown. She's looking for a sparring partner, so to speak. All she's doing is managing. And don't get me wrong, she's wrestling the men too, as well. But EPW has a Divas belt. And it's pretty dear. And they've got no use for the Divas belt because there's only one diva or one woman in the company, one girl in the company. And that's Jodie, Vixen. So if you're interested in getting physical, apparently there's another girl coming down as well to Croydon, August 29th as well. There's some Irish lass who's flying in to Croydon's show. I don't know, I've never seen her before, but I'm sure that's pretty big. But like I say, we're reaching out to you guys here, whether you can get to the Middlesbrough area or you live in the Middlesbrough area. If you think you've got what it takes, get yourself down to Waylands Way, just off Longlands in Middlesbrough. Go past the Majestic, it's round that roundabout. You can't miss it. It's in the Longlands area, just up the road from the old White Rose, just up the road from the Longlands Club. That's a couple doors down from Quick Fit as well. You can't miss it. It's a huge car park. Douglas Car Sales, number 72, Waylands Way. Get yourself down there if you think you've got what it takes. And like I said, the more girls, the merrier. Just something to give Vixen something to do as well. I mean, poor lass. All she's doing is managing. And also give Chris, the boss there, an idea to use that Divas belt, that women's belt too, as well. Because they've only got one female in the company. And they've got a female championship belt too, the Divas title or the women's title, whatever they call it. And they've got no use for it because there's only one female in the company. So like I say, the more females we can get, the better. Even if it's just 1 or 2, 3, EPW needs female wrestlers. End of discussion on that one as well. And also as well, guys, you know by now, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you listen to this on YouTube, if you listen to this on Podomatic or whatever the heck, check the description pages and check out the list of people from Twitter, the Twitter pages, and the YouTube channels as well. It's going to be the same, there's no different. Axel, Mulligan, Tim Vicious, Vicky, Earls, the Sunday Segue crew, James Powers, head of fan relations at Sunday Segue as well. Make sure you check all them out. They are a very good group of people. Not only that, they are a good group of wrestling fans too. And very intelligent too, I might add, as well. So make sure you check them out. If you want to watch the EPW wrestling, if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about when it comes to EPW, make sure you check out the YouTube pages as well. There's 2 YouTube pages. Links will be in the description as well. Make sure you check them out and give them a sub and a like and whatever. All that good stuff. And that's all I've got to say, really, to be honest with you. Hasn't been really much to say about it in wrestling this week. July 28th, I'm having more guests on the podcast. I have James Powers, the host of James's Wrestling Rambles, and not only that, he's also the head of fan relations, like I mentioned, with Sunday Segue as well. And also I have my conqueror, so to speak, in the Beat the Clock tournament for Sunday Segue, even though it was a fluke, Mike Rodriguez as well, Mr. President. The links will be in the description. Make sure you check them out and follow them and like them and all that good stuff. I can't wait to have them on. I enjoyed it recording with Kenny and doing the show with Kenny. I can't wait to do this show with these two as well. It's going to be phenomenal. We're going to be talking about Raw and anything else we can think of in the world of wrestling. But I think we'll be going into an in-depth discussion about what takes place on Monday Night Raw that week. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I am Anthony Walker, the HD, the A to the D, that's right, the head Anthony Walker. And until next time, for episode 16 of the Wrestling Matters podcast, thank you so much for your support. Keep supporting, keep liking, rate us on iTunes as well, download it for free. And until next time, peace out, y'all. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Anthony Walker, the host of the Wrestling Matters podcast, and you can now check out the Wrestling Matters podcast on youtube.com/HAW Wrestling Matters. You can now go to Podomatic.com, iTunes, and now also you can go to a new one. That's right, a new site, Stitcher Radio. That's right, we're on Stitcher Radio right now. I'm on Stitcher Radio right now, and you could be too. Get yourself on there, download their app, the Stitcher Radio app, or the Stitcher app, whatever it is. Make sure you download their app, and you can listen to it on your phone, anywhere you want, at any time you want, at any place you want. That's the Wrestling Matters podcast now on YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and Stitcher Radio. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.